We cannot sit back. We have to fight, and they're going to fight seat after seat.
There is this sort of step back argument, which is what is better for democracy. But right now, neither side is particularly focused on that.
North Carolina, the state Senate's Republican leader is floating a new map in a state that's already among the most gerrymandered in the country.
We've got the gerrymandering battle still ramping up for this midterms, as it's been overshadowed as of late due to the other chaos in our political sphere. So if you can, take a moment, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a bunch, gives us a boost in the algorithm, and let's get right into this, as it's as important as ever heading into these elections.
There are several new fronts in the redistricting wars. The latest example, North Carolina. The state Senate's Republican leader is floating a new map in a state that's already among the most gerrymandered in the country. The Republican gerrymander in Texas is poised to give the party 5 extra seats. They also could pick up multiple seats if Ohio and Florida do their own. And new proposed maps in Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, and Indiana could net them 1 more seat in each. California voters will decide in November whether to allow a Democratic gerrymander there. In Illinois and Maryland may try to add a Democratic seat as well. And in Utah, a judge has ordered them to redraw their map in a way that could add a blue seat. One thing we know for sure, every single seat will count next year.
I mean, it's literally insane to me that people still try to both sides this when it's so evident. It shows how brainwashed and lost to the cult they are, when literally all institutions that study this say one thing and they're just like, nope, we already know Republicans by and far worst culprit at this. They benefit far higher, like many times higher than Democrats in terms of the number of seats they hold due to it. As you can see, like there's massively gerrymandered Republican states passing legislation to just further gerrymander their states and get more, all because Trump said so. And even when Democrats are doing so in response to this blatant cheating, they're still like, well, we have to put it up to a vote to let the people decide. Like, it is an unwavering asymmetric battle that we face, where our side both has morals and ethics as hurdles in this battle, and the other side has bloodlust for power as a boost. Something must be done when we get power to ensure this can never happen again.
We cannot sit back. We have to fight, and they're going to fight seat after seat. Look, at the end of the day, Democrats see the midterm election as existential. That if they don't take back the House, there are no guardrails on Donald Trump.
But certainly Trump also sees the midterms as he is, I'm sure we're all hearing this, laser focused right now on, and his decision making, everything he's doing is about the midterms in a lot of different ways.
Where he's worried about impeachment, he's worried about investigations.
Yes, exactly. Well, and because he knows what happens if you lose control of Congress. This happened to him before in his first term. He then thinks he's facing investigations, potential impeachment, and just any agenda on the Hill grinds to a halt.
And it is existential, right? The House carries out the oversight, which is what provides the largest bit of checks and balances and guardrails from corruption to the president, of which we're seeing dangerous things play out right now because there are essentially none. Trump pardoning those who pay him, hand-waving investigations of those within his administration, taking bribes from foreign governments, overstepping co-equal branches, defying the Constitution, defying the Supreme Court. And Trump wants to be able to keep doing this for 4 years, so he needs a Republican majority. As well as, if they're going to keep gutting crucial agencies and funding for things like Medicaid and destroying our government from within, obviously, Democrats will not be doing that if they get the majority, not passing these disastrous spending bills, the rescissions, and all of that Republicans currently can get through.
It's a fascinating arms race, right? I mean, it's like what the governor says there. He goes, okay, I don't like what's happening in Texas. I don't want what's happening in California. If you tell the Republicans stop doing it, the Democrats stop doing it. You know what I mean? It's sort of one of those things is, if one side's doing it, the other side feels like they have to do it. If the Republicans are doing it in Texas, a lot of Democrats feel they have to do it in California. There's no singular disarmament. So where do you go? You have every state in the country, every election cycle, then trying to sort of gerrymander their state differently every time based on who's in power? Like, do we do this forever? I mean, that's a question. It's like, where does it end? How does it end?
Well, and Schwarzenegger is making a good government argument. I mean, he was part of the effort to bring in nonpartisan
But
redistricting.
do Democratic voters in that blue state
but
listen to that?
that's the thing. I think, you know, there is this sort of step back argument, which is what is better for democracy. But right now, neither side is particularly focused on that.
I think it's with this issue and political violence or rhetoric as a whole that we've best been able to see how far from reality MAGA Republicans are willing to detach themselves to pretend that they're somehow the good guys or have the moral high ground, and you know they know their base will fall in line if they do so. Gerrymandering is like a 90-10 issue, 95-5 maybe even. Like, saying it exists on both sides is pointless at this level of an imbalance. Same with political violence. And the problem again, MAGA politicians feel there are no guardrails for them because they are currently acting as the guardrails and they've agreed upon themselves, and we'll let Trump get away with whatever. This obviously causes a multitude of problems, but I think it goes without saying the plethora of ones we've already seen play out. The question then becomes, where do we go from here? And I think the midterm is the first big step in answering that question.